Right now, as you're watching this video, something is happening inside your body that you may not feel, may not see, and may not even think about. But it's real. Every year after 60, the body naturally begins losing strength if we don't give it the support it needs. It isn't dramatic at first. It isn't something that arrives like a storm. It's slow, quiet, almost polite in the way it takes a little more strength from your arms, a little more power from your legs, a little more confidence from your balance. But here's the part most people never hear. There are simple, everyday foods that can support muscle health in ways many older adults have never been told. Foods sitting in your kitchen right now that can help you stay energetic, strong, mobile, and active as the years pass. And today, I want to share a story that proves just how powerful everyday nutrition can be. This is Margaret's story, a 73-year-old grandmother who once struggled to stand up from her favorite chair without bracing her weight on the armrests. She felt her legs trembling in ways they never did before. Walking across the grocery store left her winded. Picking up her groceries required 2 hands instead of 1. And even though she didn't want to admit it, she was scared. She told me she felt like she was slowly disappearing from her own life. 1 step, 1 pound of strength, 1 task at a time. But today, Margaret lifts weights heavier than she ever imagined. She picks up her grandkids with ease. She walks every morning. She gardens for hours. She laughs about how she once feared she was getting old too fast. And the turning point wasn't expensive powders, miracle supplements, or complicated routines. It was simply understanding how food, real, everyday food, fuels strength, supports energy, and helps the body age with grace. So welcome back, my friends. If you're new here, this channel is dedicated to helping people 60 and above live with more energy, more strength, and more confidence, using safe, simple, research-supported nutrition and lifestyle habits. If you find value in this message, feel free to tap the like button. Not for the algorithm, but as a tiny promise to yourself that you're choosing strength today. Now, if you're still with me, I want to take you into the real heart of this story. Because the truth is, most people over 60 are unknowingly eating in a way that makes it harder for their body to maintain strong muscles. And it's not their fault. No one teaches older adults what their body actually needs after 60. For decades, nutrition advice focused on reducing calories, cutting fats, eating lighter. And that advice works for younger people. But once we cross 60, the body changes its rules. You see, the body builds and repairs muscle using amino acids, the building blocks found in protein-rich foods. But with age, the body becomes slower at using those amino acids. This means that foods that used to easily support your strength in your 3 zeros and 4 zeros are no longer enough. Your muscles now need more nutrients and more specific nutrients to stay strong. This isn't a disease. It isn't something wrong with you. It's simply a natural part of aging that no one ever explained. And this is where the 5 foods I'm about to share become incredibly important. Because these foods contain nutrients that older muscles respond to especially well. These are foods that are easy to find, easy to prepare, affordable, and delicious. Foods Margaret leaned on every single week as she rebuilt her strength. Matron said. Foods that countless older adults use to feel more solid on their feet, more powerful in their legs, and more capable in their daily lives. But before we get to those foods, I want to paint a picture of what's happening inside your body, because knowledge is the greatest form of empowerment. Imagine your muscles as a team of workers constantly repairing your body. When you eat the right nutrients, these workers get activated and begin building, repairing, and strengthening. When you don't, the workers go silent and muscle naturally declines. For younger adults, the workers activate easily. But after 60, they need a louder signal, more targeted nutrients to wake up and do their job. And now, let's talk about the foods that support that process more effectively than almost anything else in your kitchen. The first food is fatty fish: salmon, sardines, mackerel, and herring. Now, I'm not going to claim they magically cure anything, but they do contain nutrients that support the body in ways that become extremely important with age. These include omega-3 fatty acids and high-quality protein. These nutrients are known to play roles in supporting normal inflammation levels, supporting muscle function, and helping. When Margaret added these fish to her meals 2 or 3 times per week, she noticed something surprising. She stopped feeling as stiff in the mornings. Her legs didn't feel as heavy. She felt lighter, more energetic, and over time the strength she thought she had lost forever slowly returned. The second food. Eggs. Whole eggs, not just egg whites. For years, people were afraid of egg yolks, but modern nutrition research paints a very different picture. Eggs contain complete proteins and nutrients like choline that help support muscle function and energy. Margaret started her mornings with 2 eggs most days of the week, sometimes boiled, sometimes scrambled, sometimes in an omelet with vegetables. And she swears those morning eggs changed her entire day. She said she felt awake in her body instead of sluggish and slow. The third food is whey protein, not as a magic solution, but as a convenient tool. Many older adults struggle to eat enough protein throughout the day because appetite decreases naturally with age. Whey protein is simply an easier way to add more high-quality protein in a small amount of food. Avdidit. It's gentle, easy to digest, and mixes into smoothies or even warm oatmeal. Margaret used it as a bridge between meals, especially on days she didn't feel like cooking. That consistency helped her maintain steady energy and keep her muscles well supplied. The fourth food group is dairy, milk, Greek yogurt, and cottage cheese. These foods provide a combination of fast and slow nutrients that keep your muscles nourished for hours. Cottage cheese before bed became one of Margaret's favorite habits. She told me it helped her wake up feeling stronger, not weaker. And finally, the fifth group, antioxidant-rich foods. Think berries, leafy greens, colorful vegetables, nuts, seeds, and spices like turmeric. These foods help the body manage natural oxidative stress, something that becomes more important as we age. They're not supplements, they're not magic. They're simply supportive nutrients nature gives us through real food. Now, I want to bring you back to Margaret, because her transformation wasn't dramatic at first. It wasn't overnight. It wasn't flashy. It was subtle. Quiet. She told me that after her first week of eating these foods intentionally, she didn't feel much different. But around the third week, she noticed she wasn't holding onto the railing as tightly when going downstairs. By the fifth week, she stood up from her chair without thinking. By the eighth week, she could lift her grocery bags with one hand again. And by the 12th week, she felt like she had stepped back into her own life. And here's the most important part. The foods themselves weren't enough. It was the consistency, the routine, the confidence that she was finally giving her body what it had been asking for all along. Now I want to share how you can use these foods in a simple, gentle, and sustainable way, the same approach Margaret used. Start your day with a breakfast that includes at least one supportive food, eggs, yogurt, or a simple smoothie with whey protein. That morning meal tells your body it's time to build, not break down. At lunch, include a source of protein, whether it's fish, chicken, beans, or dairy, and add something colorful for antioxidants. In the afternoon, have a small protein snack, a boiled egg, cottage cheese, Greek yogurt, something small that keeps your body fueled. In the evening, eat something balanced, maybe fish, maybe chicken, maybe a veggie, rich bowl, and if dinner is early, consider a tiny protein snack before bed. And if you're wondering whether it's too late, Maggie. I'll tell you this, Margaret was 73. She thought she was too old to change. She thought her muscles were gone forever. She thought her best years were behind her. Until she realized something that changed everything. The body never stops responding to nourishment. It never stops adapting. It never stops trying to support you. All it needs is the right fuel. So as we close today, I want you to imagine yourself 6 months from now. Imagine standing up with ease. Imagine walking longer. Imagine feeling steady, confident, and capable. Imagine lifting your grandchild without hesitation. Imagine feeling strong again. Strength is independence. Strength is dignity. Strength is life. And if this message resonated, then maybe today is your turning point too.